Hey guys, welcome to Connect with Katie. I'm so glad that you can join me. I just wanted to let you know the program that I use for my awesome podcast. It's called Anchor. This program is free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and your computer. Also, will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Also, you can make money with no minimum listenership. Best thing is everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Hey guys, what's up? This is KT Talk Show, formerly known as Connect with KT. I'm super stoked today. I have my guest, Matt Peet. He is a business owner and the operator and designer of Repeat Productions, which I'll have him talk more about that. He's currently in South Carolina and I'm from Michigan. So we were talking, across the country here. And Matt, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us how you started your business?
Hey, what is up, everybody? Yeah, so my business, Repeat Productions, I have a couple businesses now, but Repeat Productions is primarily my wedding videography based business. I also have a podcast called the Matt Peet Marketing Podcast, and I do video production through that as well, just mattpeet.com. But I mean, I can go more in depth with my origin story if you'd like, but I mean, the short version is, Repeat Productions does weddings and mattpeet.com does all of my corporate clients, that kind of stuff, conferences, events, entrepreneurs, that kind of stuff. And creating a course right now to help entrepreneurs make their own videos so they don't have to pay me thousands of dollars to do it.
Right. And so I've been watching your live videos, which is actually, we connected on the podcast groups and then I've been, seeing your lives because I was like, oh my gosh, this video marketing, I've never heard of this before. So why don't you kind of tell us about this video marketing and why you got into it? Because I think your story of how you kind of started it is really cool. So I want to show about that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible while hitting all the high points. So again, I started wedding videography while I was in college back in 2012. I think I shot my first wedding. By the time I graduated, I got a job with, I was doing like lead graphic design. That's what I went to college for, was graphic design. And I did that for about 3 months. And I was only making about $24,000 a year as like their lead graphic designer for this business. And with my wedding video business, I was making $2,000 per wedding at the time. So for me, it's like I'm making, I shoot 12 weddings a year and I've made what I make with this business. And I was planning on doing at least 20 something that year. So I quit that job after about 3 months.
Wow.
I was like, I can't do it. I was driving an hour and a half one way to get to this job because I couldn't afford, rent near where the job was. It just, it was rough. So an hour and a half drive every day. I was listening to Entrepreneur on Fire with John Lee Dumas, his podcast, every day. So it really had me fired up to do the entrepreneur thing. Quit the job, went full-time into weddings. 2015, I reached out to John Lee Dumas, the host of Entrepreneurs on Fire. And I was like, I want to make a video for you. I'm not going to charge anything. I mean, I paid about $1,800, I believe it was, to get in front, 15, 18, somewhere in there, to get in front of John Lee Dumas. Again, long story. You can go like you did. You go watch all my lives on Facebook. How I got in front of John. All in all, it cost me about $4,000 to shoot a free video for John Lee Dumas. Just of one of his events that he was having where he was keynoting at a conference. That snowballed into so many different things. I now shoot videos for that actual conference that I shot his keynote speech at. I've traveled on cruise ships and shot conferences on cruise ships. I've been to Chicago, Philadelphia, LA, Orlando, Texas. I've been all over shooting videos for different entrepreneurs and conferences like this. And it's been super amazing. But I always tell people the one shift I had was last year. I was shooting a video for one of my marketing clients. So for videography, when you're doing marketing videos, your best friend is the marketer, because they have all of these other clients up under them that they're working with. So if you're friends with the marketer, they're going to send their clients your way. So, you want to be friends with them. And this girl that is a marketer here in Charleston, South Carolina, we were actually friends before we kind of connected on the business side of things. And she sent me one of her clients, is a spa down in Charleston, South Carolina. And they're like, they don't have a huge video marketing budget. They're wanting to test it out and see how it works. I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. So for $1,250, I drove to their business, and I was there for a few hours, probably 4 or 5 hours, shooting a couple different things, some B-roll, extra footage, that kind of stuff. And the final products were because the girl, the marketer I work with, is an Instagram influencer. So she all about Instagram. So yeah, so every video I made for them was under a minute because that's their strategy, is Instagram. So 4 videos under 1 minute long, and it was people just talking, my 5 favorite things from the spa, because they have like a store there you can buy things from. And that was the video. At the end of the video, they promoted a sale they had going on for the next 3 weeks. It was literally just a talking head, somebody looking at a camera talking, and do a couple shots of what they were talking about. I'd later get a shot of just that, like a photo of that, and put it in there. Super easy stuff. And they ran this promotion on Instagram and everything. And the $1,250 they paid me ended up bringing them in over $200,000 in sales in 3 weeks.
That's insane.
Yeah, that was the shift for me when I was like, okay, they just made more in 3 weeks than I make in 2 years because of 4 simple videos I made for them. That realistically, had they just had basic knowledge, they could have done it with their iPhone. So that's what kind of prompted the podcast, teaching people how to market, and the course where I show people how to make their own videos like that so they can increase their sales. So that's kind of the super condensed version. Wow. Try to keep it as short as possible.
No, but that is I know, but that's such a cool story though. And I think that's, I think it's inspirational too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about taking those extra steps and just doing that extra, oh, you know what, if I do this, this might get me somewhere, and you did it. And now look where you are, so that's so awesome. And one thing I also noticed is you were talking about, hope marketing is something that you tried before, and it's something that you didn't, it didn't work out for you. So why don't you talk about why, you used that before and now it's not something that you use in your current marketing techniques?
Oh yeah. I was talking to somebody recently, and they said something that I thought was really cool. They said, hope isn't a strategy. And I've been calling it hope marketing for a while. And basically, people create a business, and, whether it's, a video business, or they're selling something, or a podcast, or a blog, or a YouTube channel, or whatever it is. And they go into it thinking of the process of creating that business, creating that thing. So for me, my first podcast I had a few years ago, I went into it thinking, okay, I've got to launch this podcast. So what do I need? What's my MVP, my minimum viable product? Was the audio recordings with a guest. That's what I wanted to do, and put it up, and that's kind of where it stopped. And my thought process was, okay, I'll put this out there, and because it was a photography podcast, photo video. And I was like, I'll put this out there, and people just listen, they'll find it, they'll search it, and, it'll get a lot of attention. And then, after I get a lot of attention, then I can, they always say, give your audience what they're asking for. So my intention was to create a podcast and then wait till my audience told me what they wanted. But that's where that hope marketing came in, where it's like, I put it together, I put it out there, but then I would just hope that people found it.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Exactly. Like that hope marketing, just, it doesn't pay off, and you have to take control of that marketing. And, so many people don't understand, I'm a moderator of a podcasting group, and, tens of thousands of members. And all of the time I see people going in there, hey, how do you get new listeners? How do you get new followers? How do you get more downloads of your show? And you have to market. That's the short answer, is market, and the long answer, find your ideal client, where they are, if they're on Instagram, if they're on Facebook, LinkedIn, if you're a business podcast, that kind of thing, and create a marketing strategy and execute on that strategy. Don't just throw it out there and hope somebody's going to find it, because it could happen if you put out something super viral, or if you have like a celebrity on or something like that, but more than likely it's not going to happen.
I don't know. I get what you're saying, because I think a lot of people do that. They pull out the ads, they're doing the hashtags, and which hashtags are great. And that's something you even talked about, was the Instagram hashtags. But a lot of people, they just throw stuff out there and like, oh, I hope this works. I know a lot of people that have that that same mindset. So that's good to know. And also what I wanted to, something, if people are struggling to get business, what is something, you also kind of talked about it when you're talking about the hope marketing, but what is some advice you can give to people, just the basics, maybe a couple tips on how video marketing can help them too?
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
essence.
So increasing sales. So I think we met on a post. I forgot what group it is. I screenshotted like the question, the post, and then like my response so I could just have it saved, but I could not find for the life of me the post in that group again. Um, but she asked, how do you increase your leads in your business? And that kind of a question, whenever I see it in a group, I saw somebody respond recently and it was like that kind of sums it up. They said, well, how long is a piece of string? It's like, increase leads in your business, that's so vague that, how long is a piece of string? Well, I don't know. What kind of string is it? Where'd you cut it? How there's so many other things that go
Right.
into it. So I answered and I kind of I said, not knowing any specifics about your business, here's a few general things you could think on. And I mean, I can just, a couple of those, make sure you're regularly putting out content on social media and staying top of mind. Like you said, using hashtags on Instagram, the appropriate sites. If you Google hashtag scraper in Jim Edwards, he has a tool. I had to do a Facebook Live on it, and it shows you. You type in entrepreneur, and it'll pull up all of the hashtags for entrepreneur, and you can click a button, and it'll show them like in their order of relevance and how many times they've been used. So that's how you can put out stuff and have it be found a little
Nice.
more. Yeah, it's super quick, super easy. It's better than like the old school way of like going through and searching other people and what they're using for hashtags. It's literally type in the word and it shows you
Right.
the relevance
Yeah.
for. So that's one. The Dream 100. Have you heard of Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels and all that yet?
I've heard of ClickFunnels, but not him specifically. So
So Russell Brunson is one of the guys I'm fanboying over right now. he he created ClickFunnels, and he is this crazy good marketer. And he has a thing called the Dream 100 he talks about all the time. And that's basically having a list of influential people in your market, in your niche. The social media influencers, the people who own the big businesses, the CEOs, that kind of thing, having those Dream 100 people and saying, okay, these are the people that I need to connect with, whether to have them on my show, to have them a guest appear on a vlog or on a Facebook Live or whatever it is, to get your content out there, because those Dream 100 people are going to have a huge following. So you want,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
you want to be best friends with them. You want to, I'm wearing a shirt right now. It says MIA, Massive Imperfect Action. You want to do kind of what I did with John Lee Dumas, where you just like try to provide so much value to them that they want to be your friend because they see you as such a valuable asset to them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for me. That's how
Being
I treat them.
valuable.
Yes, being absolutely unmistakably valuable to them for no reason. Don't go into it trying to sell them. Go into it like when I pitched John Lee Dumas, I told him, hey, I want to shoot a video for you at the conference you're keynoting at. They're doing a meetup. I want to shoot a video for that. And at the end, if you don't like the video, then you can put it in the trash can. I'll delete it and no one will ever know I was there.
You're right.
I mean, that was my pitch to him. So, I mean, he literally had nothing to
That's
lose.
awesome.
So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I went about that. And, I flew me and my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, out to Texas to shoot that for him. Doing that for your
Wow.
Dream 100, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to cost you thousands of dollars. It can be as simple as, joining their Facebook group and providing
Yep.
as much value to their group members as absolutely possible without selling yourself at all.
Yeah,
That kind of
that's
thing.
great. That's great advice, because even I didn't, when just listening to you, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is something that I need to take into consideration for myself. Wow, like there's a lot of people I know that I could be. I mean, you are valuable to my show 100%. And because you just gave me a lot of, and now that these entrepreneurs that are going to be listening, a lot of valuable advice, and I'm going to be using this now, so I think that's awesome, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
also wanted to I thought this was really cool, and this is kind of a side note thing, but I saw you got married in Disney, so I thought I just wanted to say how awesome that was, and like I just wanted to ask you, like, was that like the coolest thing ever or what?
it really was the coolest thing. And that kind of happened like we had planned on getting married here in Charleston. We knew all the vendors here because we shot weddings in Charleston. We had our planner picked out and everything. We were about to sign the contract with her, and my wife was like, she had always dreamed of getting married at Disney since she was a little girl. And I was like,
Aw.
well, just call them and see how much it costs. Like let's
Yeah.
see what it compares to, because I was thinking, crazy amounts of money. What it essentially, long story short, turned out to be is, our wedding in Charleston was going to be like 200 people, all of our friends and family that we had ever known, kind of thing. And we decided to get married at Disney, and same price, you know, it was about $30,000, 30, 35, somewhere in there. But for the same price, we could get married at Disney, but we had to cut the number down significantly. So what it ended up being was basically our bridal party and our immediate family. So it was
Yeah.
about 30 to 35 people in total. So I tell people when it worked out, it was about $1,000 a person to get married there, but it was
Mhm.
just the coolest experience ever. You know, we bought annual passes that year because, you know, my wife would have to go down there to do her trial hair and makeup. And then we'd have to go down there for a planning session with our planner, who is actually named Mickey just by happenstance.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it was just, man, it was the coolest experience for sure. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I was checking your stuff out, of course, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to ask him about that. That is, you don't see a lot of people, just getting married at Disney. It's not something you hear very often.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's so cool. Well, if the last thing that I wanted to talk about was just if you have anything coming up within the next couple of weeks, couple of days that you wanted to let people know about, anything you wanted to advertise, or and I know your podcast is going to be coming soon. So if there's
Yes.
anything you wanted to, put out there.
Absolutely. So there's two things that I've got coming up very soon. And one of them you can go ahead and jump in right now if anybody wants to. So the first one, like you said, is the podcast, the Matt Peet Marketing Podcast. I interview successful marketers who help other people make tons of money because I make videos and I've seen how people have implemented videos. But once I saw that one client make over $200,000 in 3 weeks with the help of a marketer, I was like, okay, there's something
Hmm.
there that I need to know. So my my goal is like, okay, now I'm going to interview marketers. So you get to go on for free, listen, type in the Matt Peet Marketing Podcast. I'm about to launch it, hopefully within the next week or two. And just, it's
Awesome.
literally free information from marketers on how to market your business. It's gold. What I'm learning from these people, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So that's coming out soon. And then the other thing is my video creation course for entrepreneurs. It's called the Secrets to Video Marketing. Um, you can join the course now for $47 because it's in beta. I haven't finished putting all the content out there.
Oh, that's
So
great.
yeah, so once that course is finished, once the beta is done, anybody who's in there is, they're going to have kind of the VIP treatment. They're going to have access to me because there's only going to be up to 100 people. That's my cutoff for the beta launch. It's 100 people. But if you go to secretstovideomarketing.com right now, you can actually grab a free PDF. You don't have to pay for it. You don't do anything. You just free PDF. It's called the 11 Video Ideas to Dominate Your Marketing. So anybody out there who's listening who is interested in kind of what kind of content to put out in video form,
Hmm.
this PDF, it's not like a bullet list. It's like page one, here's a video idea. Here's 3 ways you can accomplish it. Here's an exercise to help you brainstorm on how to create this video. It's a very comprehensive list
Awesome.
of how to create video content. And then the very end, as a little bonus, I tell you how you can repurpose all of that content in so many other ways that you should never run out of content for your business. So you go over to
Wow.
secretstovideomarketing.com, grab that. Then you can check out the course. Like I said, it's in beta launch right now, and you can be one of my VIP members basically because it's not fully launched and you will
Yeah.
help me create it.
Well,
So
that's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah. Well, that is so amazing, and I seriously am so thankful to have you on the show. I mean, you are like totally rocking it. I mean, seriously, in this entrepreneurial world, I think what you're doing is amazing, and you just inspired me just by talking to you on this podcast. So seriously, I really appreciate you and your time, and I hope that we have more podcasts that we can do in the future.
Awesome. Sounds good, Katie.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.